Hello, world. Welcome back to Golf Subpar with Colt Knost and Drew Stoltz. So, ladies, I made it out of Bangkok.
Didn't get you.
Didn't get me. It tried.
It's claimed a few in its day. Saw some pictures that are being sent. Looked like some interesting bar situations. Some great bars. Very friendly bars around there in Bangkok.
It is a hell of a time.
Yeah.
Bangkok is
the old.
The way I described it, it's wild, man. Like
the ladyboy bars. Saw some ladyboys.
There are a few of those.
Yeah.
Just gonna leave it at that.
Yeah.
But it is a special place. Was over there all week for the Asian Pacific Amateur. Where we stayed was about an hour and 20 minutes outside of that city. So I didn't get to explore too much throughout the week. Was too busy working,
probably
grinding.
good.
It was very good, actually. But we did go into the city Sunday night. Stayed at arguably one of the nicest hotels I've ever stayed at in my life, called the Mandarin Oriental. This thing was top-notch. Gorgeous. Like I said, I believe it's a top 5 hotel in the world. Absolutely fantastic. But we got out on the town, bounced around, had a Michelin star food cart, I guess you would call it.
Yeah, tire company.
They're on this right off the side of the street. Michelin stars, got the signs around it. Been a Michelin star for like 4 or 5 years. They have one menu on the item.
One item on the menu?
Sorry, like I said, I just got back from Bangkok.
Your brain.
One item on the menu. It was a soup, a pork soup. They hand roll the noodles for it, and it was one of the best things I've ever had in my life.
It better be. If you're whatever Michelin star restaurant, you got one thing. It better be pretty.
4 of us.
Damn good.
We each got a small bowl, which was still huge, but 4 of us, 240 baht, which comes out to about $6.
God, it's incredible
for all of us.
Dude, all that stuff over there. I've heard about the bot for a while. I had some friends from Australia used to go play that One Asia tour back in the day, and they're like, dude, you show up there with $100 bill, USD, you are king of the castle for a day. You want to rent jet skis all day. You got this person, you got a chauffeur, he'll drive you around. Everything is like $100 to do whatever you want. Meanwhile, we're over here on the jiks, like sleeping 3 guys to a Motel 8. I was like, yeah, a little different over here. They loved it.
When I checked into the Mandarin, I got $200. I converted $200 over to baht. It was about 7,200 baht. Went to about 10 different bars, bought drinks for me, a few others, the entire night. I mean, we all chipped in here and there. Felt like I spent probably $500-600. I had 2,500 baht left out of 7,200. I spent like $120 and had an amazing night.
That's nice. That's nice. And you can just make it rain when you got $1,000 bills. It's got to feel nice in the pocket. Here you go.
Here you go. The next morning, I was just handing out $100 bahts like it was like
$100 bahts.
Dumb and Dumber.
Yeah, was that $3?
Yeah, $3.50.
It's awesome. Here you go.
But, man, I was over there for that tournament. I got to give a huge shout-out to Augusta National, the Masters Tournament, and the RNA. They put this on. It's the 13th time the Asian Pacific Amateur has happened. This year, it was over at Amata Spring Country Club outside of Bangkok, Thailand. Harrison Crow from Australia was your champion. 21-year-old beat Bo Jin from China. Bo Jin, by the way, has played 3 Asian Pacific Amateurs. Never shot over par. Has an 8th, a 3rd, and a 2nd. Great playing. It
just
doesn't
good
get you
enough
anything.
For a pat on the back.
It is. I mean, to the victor go the spoils. Masters Tournament, Open Championship, the Amateur over there. It's just incredible what they have done. They are truly growing the game. This is my 2nd year covering it. The quality of golf is incredible. The golf course was great. One of 2 floating greens in the entire world there in Coeur d'Alene.
Coeur d'Alene, shout out.
Really cool. Hit your shot, get on a boat, go over, putt, get on a boat, come back, tee off on the 18th. But it was such a fun event. Also saw maybe a future star in the game of golf. TK Chinanawanawat, something like that.
What was it?
TK.
Come
Just
again?
go by TK.
Teak.
TK, 15-year-old from Thailand. He has actually played a live golf event. He's won on the Asian Tour. This kid's got it. 15 years old, has 117-mile-an-hour club head speed. He's not a very big fella. Makes Ryo Ishikawa look bald. He's got some flow going on up there, man. It's glorious.
Love it.
But been being fit by Callaway since he was 11 years old.
Yeah, normal shit.
Yeah, talking to the rep over there that handles most of Asia, I was like, all right, TK comes in. Obviously, we know he's got game. He's 15 years old. But you work with tour guys. You work with TK. He goes, he's ready right now.
Didn't he beat Tom Kim
He did.
in the event that he won?
He did.
Yeah, he's doing okay.
No, I mean,
He's at the ripe old age of 20, though. He's almost over the hill.
But I followed him around for a couple of days, and like he hit shots that you don't see. I don't know if you see any 15-year-olds hit. It was something special.
And then last year was that Nakajima. Is it Nakajima?
Keita Nakajima.
Yeah, he showed up at Augusta, the whole army. He looks like the next thing coming. So they're churning him out international-wise.
But TK is 12th on the amateur world rankings. I mean, I don't know when he's going to turn pro. He says he wants to go to Stanford, which I'm pretty sure they'll have him.
In?
I think they'll have him.
Okay.
But, man, it's so fun over there. I mean, we had our first guy ever from the country of Nepal make the cut. I mean, you got people from Jordan, Istanbul. It's such a cool week. I told you, some of the kids, the only time they play on grass the entire year is that week.
And they pay for them all to come over. So, like,
Augusta
some of these
National,
kids, you got to think they probably never left where they live.
Yep.
And now they're getting on a plane, flying over there, hitting on grass.
Augusta National and the RNA take care of the entire bill.
Yeah, that's
Fly
sweet.
you over there, put you up, and they're so happy to be there. They don't care what they shoot. But in my opinion, like events like this is what grows the game. It's really cool to see.
Yeah, that's a sweet event. Having a Masters invite on the line, Open Championship. That's why you see, like, the time's crazy. So I didn't see any of it. I read about it. It seems like every year, back nine, leader has some issues because they're kids 15, 18, 19, whatever. Like, this is for Augusta. This is for Open Championship. Some weird shit happens down the stretch over there.
Yeah, and Bo Jin, who plays at Oklahoma State, absolute stud. His brother actually won this tournament several years ago. And so Bo had been to Augusta. He caddied for him in the par 3. Bo Jin had a one-shot lead with 2 to play, comes to the island green. Didn't hit a very good shot, but also caught a massive wind gust. Ended up dropping one in the water, made double bogey. So the script flips. Now he's one back going into 18. And Harrison Crow hit probably one of the worst iron shots he's ever hit in the situation, but then one of the best chip shots I've ever seen.
Saw that highlight, and it was nasty.
Got it up and down to win the Asian Pacific Amateur.
Yep. Congrats. Was planning on turning pro, maybe push that back.
I think that one's going to get delayed a little bit.
At least till April. At least till second week in April.
But I'm back. Thailand, 14-hour time zone difference. That's all. Just 14.
It's normal, dude.
But I'm here now. I'm ready to rock. We got one more week of fun left. Head to Nashville tonight. Justin Thomas's wedding. And then it's time to go into hibernation for a little bit.
Yeah, detox. That's what I was looking for. My brain's a little messed up too, dog. I had a weekend.
We also, Halloween. Took the
Halloween
kids out.
was large. First time my daughter knows what's going on.
Her
She
Palmer
was
got
sleeping in
it.
her costume for about a week. Little Sky from Paw Patrol. We had at it. And by the way, shout out to the few parents out there that they like set up outside. Like, here's the candy for the kids. They also had like margarita bars.
Oh,
we had one guy setting up Manhattans, like all kinds of stuff. I'm telling you, I was like, doers on tap for the boys.
So when you
for
say
the parents out there, I was like, God bless you.
When you say you had to go take your kids out, okay, it wasn't all bad.
We were stumped by the end. I was having more fun than no. Stay awake, kid. We got a few more houses to go to.
That's awesome. Well, we got to give a big shout out. And by the way, you picked the winner of this week's
how about
Butterfield Bermuda Championship. Seamus Power got the job done. He won by a stroke, but I think a lot of this tournament's going to be remembered for Ben Griffin and the collapse he had. That was tough to watch.
That was tough. That's what makes those like kind of the off-field events, like sometimes they're fun. I know it's not the biggest names in the world, but here's Ben Griffin, kid that was working as a mortgage broker not that long ago. You know what I mean? Played golf, good player at North Carolina, turned pro. Was like, nope, go get a real job. Actually, this sucks. I hate this. I'm going to go play golf again. And here he is leading, going in the back nine. That little stretch he had right when they turned back into the wind flipped in. He just hit some loose ones, which you see. He hadn't been in that situation. He also hit some good ones that didn't turn. Like, I think that, misjudged the wind a little bit too. Could have been better. Could have been tighter.
He hit some loose ones, but he hit incredible pitch shots. He missed two or three 5-footers
shorties
that really hurt him. And then on 17, the downwind short par 5, he pulls his iron shot and ends up going into the water, which was not the right club. You have to take that
opportunity.
Yeah, ends up making par there and made a good par on the last. But Seamus Power picks up his second PGA Tour win. I feel like our first one in a while.
First time we picked one. Yeah, we're more football guys.
Yeah, it's football season.
We're obviously more football guys, of which we continue to stay hot.
All right. Well, believe it or not, Doers is also rather popular over in Thailand, Sleaze.
Of course.
But what do Matthew Fitz, Cameron Smith, and Scotty Scheffler have in common with Doers' 4-time Master Blender of the Year, Stephanie McLeod? They all are at the top of their game. In Stephanie's case, that means creating the new Doers 12-year-old. Double-aged and first fill bourbon cask, the new Doers 12 is smoother and richer, with a profile full of fruit, vanilla, floral notes, and spice. It's earned a 94-point rating from Whiskey Cast, a 93-point rating from Whiskey Advocate, and 4 stars from Paul Packett of the Spirit Journal. It's proof of what you can do when you're a true champion of your craft. Try it, enjoy it, and please drink responsibly. It's now time for the Doers Cheers Moment of the Week. Sleaze, what do you got this week?
My Cheers Moment of the Week, I've been, like I said, cold, football gambling-wise, other than the picks we make on here. It is all flipped. The gods are shining upon me, highlighted by the fact with the TCU cover last week. You were out of town. I don't know if you got to see it. The greasiest of all greasy covers at the end of that game. We're running out the clock. All we want to do is kill it, get to the end of the game. 4th and 2. What do? We're going to line up, try to draw them off sides. Maybe we run a play, maybe we don't. They jump off sides, free play, send it down the sideline, touchdown with virtually no time left to cover the second half, by the way, which I also had. And that's when I was like, the gods, they've changed. Everything is flipped. From that point on, everything was winning for me. Scott Van Pelt does the bad beats every week, which is one of the best.
My favorite segments.
The first two that he did this past week, they're terrible. TCU was number one. Utah first half was the other one. I was on the winning side of both of those. That's when you know the gods are with you. Shout out to the
See, now you're talking about it. I'm worried things might go cold again for you.
I don't care. I've at least had the joy. I never felt more alive than I did this weekend on my couch. I was like,
I would love
it's
to
all
see
happening.
You watch those bad beats. You're like, yep, got that one.
Oh, I've had so many on the other side. I'm like, yep, that's the shittiest break of all time. This time I was on the first two on the good side. That's when I knew the tides had turned. So that's mine.
All right. Well, my Doers Cheers moment of the week obviously goes out to the Asian Pacific Amateur, Augusta National, the RNA for all the great things they do, but also all the kids around the world that listen to Golf Subpar. So many of them came up to me, told me how big of a fan they are of our show, especially the kids from India, New Zealand. We're very big over in those parts.
Little road show to India, perhaps?
I actually do got to send out a little special gift to one of the guys from New Zealand. Told me he's tried to order. Obviously, we don't ship there, which I think we need to change that, by the way, because we're huge. So shout out to all of them for coming up and saying how
get
big
his
a
address,
fans.
fire something over to the kid.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But they're huge fans of Golf Subpar all around the world, and I just loved hearing it.
And you made it through the week without any accidents on the course. Poo-poo wise.
Survived
Which is
Bangkok.
nice. You're eating all those sauces, dude. You never know.
The Thai red curry.
Pack a few extras.
It's delicious, but be careful.
Hot and sweaty, also a lot of sauces. Dicey. Good job getting through that.
Though. We made it back. And we also have another guest who is making his return visit to Golf Subpar this week. The one, the only, Johnny Manziel. Here he is on Golf Subpar.
All right, ladies and gents. College football royalty in the house. Heisman Trophy winner, A&M legend, gunslinger, up-and-coming, aspiring professional golfer, Johnny Manziel. Good to have you back, buddy.
Hey, good to be back,
Episode
fellas.
2.
Yeah.
Yeah, the sequel.
It is, it's been a while. It's good to see some familiar faces.
Yeah, I actually haven't seen you in quite a while.
Yeah.
You know, I think last time we really spoke, you were starting your process of becoming a professional golfer. Where are we at right now with the golf game?
You know, the golf game is somewhat in shambles.
You're a real golfer now, dude.
I'm going through my first really big slump, and it kind of got me to the point where, you know, I stepped away for a little bit. So I've probably played 4 times in the last 4 or 5 months, maybe 6 months. But good news is I'm back in Scottsdale for the foreseeable future. Not too many trips planned, so we'll try to get back on that on the grind.
You were playing 4 or 5 days a week. I mean, for a while, like maybe more.
Weren't
you? I mean, it was
I was
every
playing
day.
4 or 5 days a week, or at least going at least to Top Golf at least one night. I was hitting balls almost 5 days a week. And now I come back, I take this little layoff. I've been playing this beautiful little fade all day, everywhere for 2-3 years. I can't hit a fade.
Welcome to golf, my friend.
Just beautiful. I'm turning it over. I'm aiming right. I'm having to draw this thing. So I just need to get back out here and work on it a little bit. That's the biggest thing.
You got a lot of speed. You start drawing it, it's going to really get out there. But also, you might lose control of it.
Might lose 1 or 2.
And I love the control. I love playing the cut and being able to control it. And I just got to get back to it. And I think I need to put some more time in than I have. But, you know, it's therapeutic. I got to get back out for me and my life and just get out here and get on the golf course and get around guys like you guys. And, you know, we got a great network here in Scottsdale of people that play all the time, plenty of opportunities to do it. So, you know, this game has helped me so much that it's kind of like, you know, I want to continue on that and continue to try and, you know, make it a big part of my life.
I mean, if you look at it this way, like, listen, it's football season. I mean, even the stars of the PGA Tour, they're laying low right now. They're resting up.
Yeah,
that's what you do. You start amping it up back up in January around Kapalua.
No, hey, I agree. You got to go get those. I don't know. Some of these early tournaments, though, you got to go get your points early.
That's
Yeah,
true.
you got to get on the board. You played some tournaments last year, though, didn't you? Play Texas. Didn't they put you with? They put you with Tony.
I
They put
did.
you with Romo, right?
We were in that tournament together.
How was that?
I was an interesting experience. I was really, really nervous going into it. Scrambled for double on the first hole, made about a 15-footer on the first hole. And, you know, I kept it under 80. Very, very, very happy about that because I don't think I would have ever lived that down for my dad. I think I shot like
80 matters.
78.
79, people forget about that.
maybe.
Like in a week, like it's done. You can't be brought up. And 80 lives forever. Screenshot, 2 years later, they send it.
I like that you said how nervous you were. Okay,
Yeah.
I mean, you play in front of 100,000 people. I know it's not your sport, but just take us through like what the nerves were like compared to going out in front of 100,000 in front of at a football game.
Yeah, no, it's not even a comparison. You know, it's you can get in any situation in golf right now where you would feel like it would never be a big deal for you, would be nervous anymore. And it's just the same way. I mean, I really guess it is just not being your sport, not something you're comfortable with, and all that. Picking up and throwing a football for me is effortless. Getting over a golf ball the last 6-8 months has been a mental hardship, I guess. So it's just about doing something naturally and something that you've practiced so much and done so much, and having 20 people watch you tee off at the Texas State Open and cascades of Tyler, Texas. Get your heart rate up and makes you snap hook one into the woods.
We need to get you
like Kyle Fields. I think
it's not.
Yeah,
we need to get you in the WM Phoenix Open Pro-Am on Wednesday.
Oh yeah, you
Yeah,
want to do it?
I mean, I would love to. That's just going to be a shank fest.
Stand by. That'd be a good way to wade into the water. You don't have to put a score next to your name.
Yeah,
no
that's
doubt.
the other different thing for you. It's like, all right, tons of dudes play at Texas Stadium, tons of guys play jicks all over the place. Guess what happens if they play bad? It ain't the cover of Golf, magazines,
No doubt.
Twitter, or Golf Week, or people talking about it on the radio. It's like, there's not huge galleries out there, but people are following.
I think to take a positive away from it, it was fun to get in a tournament setting like that and get out there and try and compete and try and grind it out. I mean, that's why I've got so entangled into golf, is because I've lost that competitive side with, not having had football for so long. And, I can still find a way to maybe get 15 strokes from you and still make it fun throughout the day.
I know you respect the best players in the world a lot, but like playing in a tournament, an actual tournament, does it maybe even give you more respect for the Justin Thomases, the Rory McIlroys, and guys like that who do it for a living?
100%. I mean, those guys are, when you watch the football world and you see guys like Aaron Rodgers and you see these guys who are just Mahomes that are really just naturally talented and good at doing it, and then you put in that time to get to the point of where it's just so effortless. It's fun to go watch Rory and hit balls on the range on a PGA Tour clip throughout the week. Like, I stay pretty, glued into the PGA Tour throughout the year and all the content they do, and the amount of skill and talent that those guys have. I mean, it really is, off the charts.
But you're around it here in Scottsdale. Like, you got Rahm, you got Max, you got a bunch of guys. I'm sure you played with all of them. Is there a guy you've played with now that you watch and you're like, damn, like just different appreciation from TV?
I got to play with Rahm and Finau in the same week. One at Silverleaf and one at Scottsdale National. And other guys I've played with, those guys are just on such a different level. Tony was the most fun to like actually go sit and rode with him throughout the day and just watch that all the way through is mesmerizing. I think his swings is so sick, so tight and compact and just effortless almost.
He's the only dude that shakes your hand and you got the same size hand.
Yeah.
In golf.
Yeah.
And you have these monsters.
That's
When you wear a double XL glove,
Yeah.
it's
And what size shoe?
Like a 15.
Jesus.
It's gnarly. Yeah, you shake his hand like, what you're looking at him in the eye. It's like DA mitts. That's a Tony's got that too though, and that's part of the reason why it's bombs, only taking it back to here.
He's one of the greats. I really enjoy being around him. What a solid dude.
Mm-hmm. Don't get any nicer.
It really doesn't.
He's as nice as they come. You're right. I tell people all the time, one of the most impressive things I've seen in this game is Tony Finau, one day at Whisper shot 66 with 35 putts. He had 5 two-putt birdies, all 4 par 5s, and then he drove it on the 4th. I was like, 66 with 35 putts. That was not hard.
Not at all.
God, if you make anything, you shoot 0.
Like getting to the par 5s isn't the impressive part because like at that golf course, they're designed to kind of get there, but they're not designed to be on the green. Like you can't hit the way they angle, and then there's a tree in front of like number 3 and things like you can't be on the green. So to actually hit it on the surface, his ball striking is different.
No doubt about it.
What's your handicap right now, though? Where are we at? If you had to guess.
If I had to guess, I would say I'm probably trending back up to around like a 4 or 5. A couple times I've played, I've kept it in the 70s. I really haven't had like a big blowout round yet, but I'm on the mission to get it back down to around like a 0 where I felt like I'm shooting under par a little bit more, and I just want to feel more comfortable out there playing. Like I've just the struggle with the game of golf, like just going through that for the first time. I've always. Before I got out here, I'd only played a little bit when I was in Cleveland or, maybe a handful of times when I was in college, but I just picked it up. And within a certain amount of time, it felt like I would get back into it and it'd be pretty effortless to be able to go out and play average golf, I guess. And then to sit here and go to playing really well, what I thought in my mind was really well, and then struggle has just been disheartening.
I think
for
the
me
last time we
in
played,
my journey to pro golf.
You were in that good slot last time we played. I think you shot like around par or something on a real golf course, real day.
On a real
all
course?
that,
On a real golf course?
Yeah, real golf. I mean,
I like
it
that you
wasn't
call it
like
that.
members tees up, soft, it's real golf. So yeah,
You got some game. You got the speed, which is the biggest thing. That's something you can't teach. I'm very jealous.
Yeah, that's
Don't
that
you flex?
athleticism.
Don't you flex over here at me. Let's talk a little football, though. By the way, congratulations. You just got put in the Texas A&M Hall of Fame.
Thank you.
Great
Thank
honor.
you.
A couple
Awesome.
Hall of Famers sitting right here.
No doubt. We've done a couple Texas legends, I guess.
I'm pending approval. Others receiving votes right now, dude. You know how it's all politics and bullshit. I don't want to get into it.
Others receiving votes is all you had to
And
say.
then you got to go give the speech and all that shit. I'm not sure I'm really into it.
But on a
I'm
serious
under
note,
the
I mean,
radar
that's a huge honor. I mean, to get put in your college Hall of Fame. What was that moment like for you?
It was awesome. I got to go in with two teammates, Mike Evans and Luke Jokel. The times that we're at A&M are times that, people come up to me and talk about every day on the street or on the golf course or, at dinner, come up and talk about times that are A&M. They definitely don't talk about the ones that were in Cleveland, that's for sure. But A&M's such a special place to me, and to go in with, a guy like Mike, a guy like Luke, a guy that blocked for me, a guy like Mike who saved my butt a million times making some spectacular plays. So, be in that class with those guys and the rest, that school is just awesome.
And when you go back down there, like for that, I mean, you're the guy, Heisman Trophy winner. You got the twos everywhere. Like, is that coming back in time and like everyone just, worships the ground you walk on? I
mean, it's a great place for me to go and just get a bunch of love. I've been trying this year, and part of the reason kind of why I've been gone from Scottsdale is I've been back in Houston and College Station a lot, trying to get back there. I'm trying to do more with the school and put some more on my plate, more on my schedule to go, try and do some stuff with recruiting, try and do some stuff with, speaking and boosting and doing some more stuff for the school, which I think I can have a big impact on. So, I love it there. I have a great setup, great people around me there. And, unfortunately right now we're struggling a different on the football side of
down
things.
there.
How are you
Right
feeling
now.
about Jimbo?
I'm feeling great about Jimbo, and I know people are up in arms about it. And I look at it in the ways of like, okay, what are you really going to go get that's better than that? This isn't. They didn't build Alabama and what they're at right now overnight. They went through some growing pains to be able to get there, and honestly, we haven't seen anything in college football like Alabama. I don't think. USC had their run back in the day. Teams have had their runs, Texas, but nothing like this. So, we play in a really hard conference. Obviously you don't want to drop one to Appalachian State early in the year.
Everyone needs to stop scheduling them. If you're going to schedule a bye, schedule a bye.
I mean, it's brutal. That's one that you sit back as having been in that locker room and playing a little bit where you're like, damn, I don't know how you let that one. I don't know how you let that one happen. But as far as Jimbo goes, I think it just takes time, and I think you have to have a guy at the quarterback position that's going to make the whole thing run. And if you sit there and you struggle and you go through a couple throughout the year, this is where you end up. We got a bunch of five-star young kids now with this NIL money it's making things a little bit different from what I'm hearing being around it a little more. It's tough when you go give a kid $100,000 at 17 years old, and some of these guys are making more than their position coaches. And you're telling me that they're going to listen and be coachable and be on time to meetings and do stuff that you need to do to run a good program. And I think we're running into some of those early hardships of the NIL.
And you're a guy that obviously, if this was around when you were playing, would have benefited substantially from this. But do you think it's good for these kids to come in and make the amounts of money they're making?
I think college football has just turned into such a big market that, it's absolutely fair in what they bring to the table and the money that they generate. It's just getting bigger and bigger year by year, especially, with how everything in sports is going up. These TV deals, the X, Y, Z, it's just nonstop. So I'd much rather it go to the kids than anything to do with the NCAA. I know that.
That's fair.
Do you look back on it now and being like, God damn, if I could have been there? And you're talking about making more than your position coaches. You've been making more than the head coach after that year. Dude, there's a kid, I think he signed with, I think he ended up going to Miami. He's $9 million.
Yeah,
before he even stepped foot on campus. You're telling me you wouldn't have got that? You were the everything in college football at the time.
It's nuts. And I think another thing that's crazy is guys can just, we've suspended a couple players on our team this year who were 5-star guys who were recruited by everybody in the country who says they just don't go take their NIL money from this school and hop right in the transfer portal and be out and take another deal somewhere else. I mean, yeah, exactly. It's it's almost free agency to the max, especially if you're established, high school established, and you're a 5-star essential recruit.
Do you think it slows down? Like, it's the Wild West right now. There's no cap. There's no nothing. These kids, like I said, the Miami kid can go get $9 million. Does it chill out at some point? Do they have to?
I don't know how you put this back. I don't know how you put it back.
Put the toothpaste back?
Yeah, you can't put the toothpaste back in the tube for sure. I think it's just going to keep being like this, and I think it's going to be harder for these head coaches to try and keep these guys in line. You know, I always thought that was one great thing about, you know, the two coaches I had in college, Mike Sherman and Kevin Sumlin. Like, they knew how to keep the guys from getting strained too far or whatever it was. You know, if you stay on them too hard or you practice too much or you're going through the 2-a-days and you don't have that one day where you take a break and do something, or, you know, go bowling or go do something as a team activity that's different, these guys are just gonna revolt. So it's gonna be harder for, you know, these coaches to keep these guys rounded up.
I mean, college coach, impossible right now.
I mean, you're a Miami guy. You like going down there. Imagine being 18 years old and having $9 million in your pocket running around South Beach.
I mean,
what's the worst that could happen?
Yeah, what could go wrong, dude?
The cost of living down there for those kids and what they're going to be doing too, they're just going to be. You can go through $9 million in a year in Miami.
Miami's the place. Miami, LA, you could probably run through a clip of that. You sign up in Norman, it's gonna be a little harder to run through $9 million.
Coach, I'm broke. You got $9 million. Coach, I'm broke.
That's
it's tax season, by the way.
It's week 3.
What do you mean taxes?
It's week 3.
Oh my God.
I mean, on a real note, hopefully they are, you know, putting some people, you know, these big athletic departments have enough to hire somebody to come on and be able to help these guys, and really, hopefully they are, because guys get to the NFL all the time, and when they get their money, they don't understand the taxes and that side of it, and getting paid during the season and not getting paid during the off season and stuff always causes people big problems. So, you know, if anything, a positive will be maybe they get people in there to the school to help them figure this out at an early age.
They need to.
I don't have an uncle named Sam.
Yeah, no doubt.
What do you mean they take half my shit?
What do you mean there's 40% less than they're supposed to be here?
Yeah. What are you doing on the recruiting side, though? You said you're trying to help out with A&M. Are you getting involved in that? Like,
yeah, I think moving forward next year and going into the spring a little bit, I'll, you know, find a more defined, little detailed role. But, you know, we've had this thing rolling recruiting-wise, you know, a number 1 class last year, and, you know, had a ton of big recruits this year. I don't think the season did us any favors, but 3 and 4 with I don't think we have any big ones left on the schedule. We'll just win our remaining of our SEC ones. I guess we'll go 7 and 4-ish.
Well, I know you watch a lot of football. I mean, you're a student of the game. We got a big one this weekend, Georgia, Tennessee. Give me your thoughts on that. Tennessee look like they're all the way back.
I mean, the what's his name?
4 points.
Hooker, I guess. You know, he's got to be leading the Heisman race right now, and just the way he played against Alabama was awesome. You know, it's always nice to see the Tide go down, especially, you know, they just got beat, and what a wild game that was.
So awesome.
You know, going back and forth in the kick, I thought it was blocked, and then it sneaks over the upright. That's storybook stuff.
And then the celebration on the field was just
Awesome.
glorious.
Walking the goalpost out of the stadium, and just there's people sitting up on top of them, like 6,000 people are carrying them. It was just legendary. But this weekend, Georgia, reigning national champs, and a Tennessee team that they're here to play, man. They look really, really, really good. You know, I wonder what the spread is on this. It's got to be
8.5.
Georgia.
Yeah.
Tennessee getting receiving.
Well, I don't know how you stay away from that.
You like the 8.5? All right, there you heard it.
I don't know how you're staying away from that.
They score every time they touch the ball.
But to go beat, obviously the scenario that everybody's kind of been talking about in college football a little bit is the SEC getting maybe like a couple teams into maybe 3 at this point, into the college football playoff, and that all starts this week. Mm-hmm. You know, Georgia takes down Tennessee takes down Bama. Then we got to see
got a bunch of
Georgia, Bama with 3-1 losses and one team that doesn't get into the SEC. It's
gonna be a
then
battle.
It becomes that if you don't even win your division of your conference, how can you be in the play? You know, you could potentially have run into the same thing with Ohio State.
Who's the other team that's actually a contender outside of the SEC that you think can win the national championship?
Fort Worth's pretty fucking good. We have not lost a game, dog.
I'm not mad at that answer. I'm not mad at that answer.
You'd have been such a good frog too. Clemson unbeaten, like Clemson's getting.
There's no team. I don't think
Clemson,
they wouldn't get in.
Then you got Ohio State, Michigan. One of them's got to lose.
Well, Michigan, they might be losing some players to jail.
Michigan
State.
Michigan State gonna lose some players too.
Whew, that was ugly.
And then I guess USC maybe.
USC, I think they're L to Utah. I don't think you can go.
So you got one Big 12 team
in the Pac-12,
one ACC team, and 2 big. You got Ohio State. That's what we were forgetting.
Yeah.
2 Big 10 teams.
just because
It's a 6-team race.
I don't know how this all works, but why in the absolute hell would you ever have 2 teams playing each other be going through the same tunnel? Like, what are we doing?
Those old stadiums.
Let me tell you how this is going to end.
Less
Not
than
good.
ideal. And that poor Michigan dude got
Oh my God.
Stomped.
Helmets taken off to the face.
I've it's been a while. I mean, there's a couple times maybe like in some NFL stadiums where it's like that a little bit, but it's obviously so definitely not as heated as that. But you have to walk by the other teams type of stuff. I've never seen that before in college.
Like Rose
that.
Bowl has it. These old stadiums that were designed like that. But like, can't you just get them to walk in and out at different times? Like it's gonna happen. Like, I mean, think about how hyped y'all are coming in and out of the tunnel. Like, you see one of them.
When you think about something like that, you always have to think back. The first thing like a college football fight I think of, it comes to my mind is that like Garrett Blunt walking off the
Boise
State.
Yeah,
he just socked a dude down here in Chandler too, and he's a coach of a youth team, and he socked a parent too. He's still throwing.
That guy's got a mean.
Do not talk shit to Garrett Blunt.
He knocked the Boise dude.
But here's the deal: say we do have our stadium, and one locker room's here, one locker room's here. You're going to be in the same tunnel. Okay, well, you get 10 minutes, you're out.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
This door is not opening until this tunnel is clear, and then we go. Same thing coming back in. It's not that hard.
Especially for those two, Michigan State. It's every year. Like Devin Bush comes out and tears up the Spartan on midfield. It's like it's gonna happen. Did you get any brawls at A&M? Y'all involved in any scuffles?
Man, I don't think anything like that. I know probably the worst thing that's ever happened like on a football field is you get in some of the bottom of some of these piles and stuff, and it's like we played Arkansas, and I remember being in the bottom of a pile, and we're just absolutely dismantling them, and these 3 guys are like on top of me, and they all just go and spit fucking in my face at the bottom of this pile.
You had a visor at least, though, didn't you?
At least, but that only goes down to here. So
it's on your mouth.
You got to eat it. Just
what else goes on down there? Like the eyes. I've heard eyes.
You saw that guy. You saw definitely the eyes. You definitely get some eye
problem.
poke. I guess you see that guy from Clemson's like pinching nuts and stuff.
Nuts got to be open season on.
That's more though. That's more of the trenches type of.
Yeah.
That's more of the big boys that on the O line and the D line getting down like that. I guess.
Sometimes when the ball comes loose and like 2 dudes at the same, and then 7 more, I'm like, what on God's earth? Because no one knows who's got the ball, and it's basically just whoever. When the refs can peel them all off, whoever's got it. The shit that goes on down there got to be just punishable by death in a lot of countries.
It should be for sure.
Give me your prediction, NCAA champion.
Ooh, wow. I think it will be one of the 3 SEC teams. I don't think anybody will knock them off.
Yeah, well, that's not what I asked. I need one.
Wow.
I can't go bet on all. I can.
hitting
All 3 of them
journalism
doesn't
here.
sound as fun though.
I still like Alabama.
Okay.
History. That's
I think they're in the West. I think they get a chance to go play Georgia in the SEC championship. If they win that game, they're in. So I mean, they have the clearest path. Tennessee's got to win, and Georgia's got to hope, or Georgia wins and Tennessee hopes. So
it could be all hell could break loose if Tennessee wins, and then Alabama beats Tennessee, and then
I feel like it's always like this though, and then it somehow just shakes out. Like, here's your 4, and they get bailed out, more or less.
I think one of the only years was the year that TCU was just on.
We went from 3rd to 6th. We won by 55. Like, oh yeah, here's one.
He's really let this go, by the way.
By the way, you want to know how this?
We're talking college football playoff. I had to bring this one up.
Thank you, John. You know how that affected my life? I was on the airplane to final stage of Q School. Game was dialed. Shit was pristine. I was ready to go walk away with this thing. On the plane, I'm sitting there. I'm like, they're about to fuck us. Guarantee they're gonna fuck. It happened on the plane. I went in this depression and never snapped out of it. Went down there, shot a grizz, went home, licked my. Then we went and played Ole Miss.
You should sue the college football committee, the playoff committee,
for my career
for $750 million, like Patrick Reed.
You know, I'm gonna be fair. It's more like 700.
Yeah,
I don't think it's 750 if I'm
because they ruined you.
700 mil.
You obviously would have cruised through final stage.
I'm 4 or 5 majors at this point. I don't think anybody could dispute that.
Not at all.
That's college football. Whoever scumbags were running it that year. Get
Poor
involved.
frogs, man. Poor frogs.
They already planned. They're already scheming how they can keep us out this year if we happen to run it. I'm just prepared for it, man.
All right, so you're going Bama and college football. Let's go NFL because it seems wide open.
Who's
right
good,
now.
dude?
Yeah, that's what we were talking about before we started.
The Bills are good. We know that.
Bills,
We
the
say
Chiefs
the
are
Bills.
good.
I mean, you got to put some respect on the Eagles.
Yeah.
I think it's hard not to.
I think
I hate
Jalen
them.
Hurts has won his last 10
I don't-
regular season games. That's hard to
He's
do.
been playing great. I mean, These guys played a lot of football too, though. Like I played a lot of college football to come into this situation and be able to get out and play like this. He's played well. I think they're better than your boys.
Well, we did play them with Cooper Rush, which we got beat. Dax looked pretty good. Did put 49 on the Powerhouse Bears.
Powerhouse Bears.
But I think that could be a battle come the end of the season when they got to play each other again.
The weird thing that's going on right now is like that transition of the quarterback position a little bit from the transfer of power a little bit from the older guys down to the younger. I can't for the life of me understand what's going on with like Green Bay. I don't understand how you squander that guy with how good he is and just don't put any weapons around him to make him any better. And that's just blowing my mind. Tampa Bay is struggling right now too.
Hasn't he never? Is this the stat, or maybe it's one? Never had a first round wideout on his roster.
I don't think so.
Or maybe once. It's like he's
I know
never
they
had
haven't
a first
drafted
rounder
anybody
as a wideout to throw to.
It's brutal.
That's crazy. And then they had Devontae, who was a monster, and they're like, "Oh yeah, you can go.
Go.
Yeah, go ahead and take off." I don't blame him for being pissed. Like, dude, you want me to score points? Give me some dudes.
It's hard.
They get open.
Give me your thoughts, because I had a chance to be around him at the AT&T at Pebble. Josh Allen, he is just a monster.
I was training in San Diego before I was getting ready to go to the draft, and they had this kid come out and work out one day when we were there, and it was Josh. And my quarterback coach, George Whitfield, was like, this dude's a stud. And after watching him that day throwing, years ago, I'm like, okay, this kid can freaking sling it. He runs it so effortlessly for 235 pounds and bullies people. I like the way of football that he plays. He plays a bully style of ball. Like, he took off last night in the last game I just watched against the Packers, and he's like spinning down the sideline. He's not scared to get his block completely knocked off. He's a mammoth.
He's not afraid to throw a stiff arm and throw a corner.
He throws it so well too, though. That's the thing that makes them so dangerous right now. Is Diggs is as good as you can want, getting open one-on-one, or when they are blitzing, or when they're just making something happen out of nothing. And you look at Gabe Davis; it's there too. I mean, that's got to be the team to beat in the AFC for sure.
We were finishing up golf, and Jared Goff was actually teeing off, and Josh and him, they went and said hi to each other. And I was like, okay, here's Jared Goff, really good quarterback, and Josh Allen. The fact, if you would have said just put those two against each other, be like, they play the same position. Be like, no chance.
Now add me to the mix. What do you think I look like in that NFL locker room?
I watched Josh hit it in Tahoe too for the long. I was like, tackle that. Like, that's a fucking man.
No, he's a house.
Like, oh my god, you break your head.
I mean, I don't think there's any way possible it's not Bills Chiefs AFC Championship.
The AFC seems like that.
That's really hard to not see that being the outcome.
NFC more open probably. Eagles, boys. I don't know. It's hard to tell. I don't even know who's good anymore. It's like everyone just loses. Everyone's like sitting at
Your Broncos just traded Chubb.
We're
right before
really
we came
good.
in here.
We're scoring a lot of points also.
And he's traded your best
fun
defensive
team
player
to watch
away.
play the game. That's ride.
That's
Waiting to ride, Russ. I'm buckled up, dog. When do we take off?
You guys have been buckled up since
Stop
last
saying let's
offseason.
ride till the train starts moving, dude.
So that thing that just came out this week on
the high knees.
Yeah, the high knees on the plane from Denver to London is.
He really helps himself with he says.
Someone needs to get him to stop talking.
I just almost like it's like it's one of those things that like your publicist almost like says like this is what people are wanting to hear. This is like what you need and like have to say, but it's so goofy, man.
So contrived.
It's so goofy. Just hearing that, just if I'm sitting and I'm flying on the plane to London, and I got this guy doing high knees and push-ups, running up and down the lane.
He ran. They asked him something. He got over there. He said he doesn't get jet lagged. I was like, okay, so you're not a human being.
He's kind of traveled enough to where his body doesn't.
Yeah. And then he said he did rehab for 4 hours. He went through his whole flight. It's like a rehab for 4 hours. Then I watched 2 hours of film. Then I fell asleep for an hour. Then I watched more. I was like, so you were doing high knees and stretch for 4 hours.
Hey, bud,
who does rehab for 4
Go
hours?
to Thailand and come back and tell me you don't get jet lag.
No, not Russ,
right
dude.
now.
He's too busy riding.
No doubt. Broncos country, let's ride. That's a good one. That's an interesting.
Do you think he has the same publicists as the Live guys? Taylor Gooch out there comparing it to a Ryder Cup.
Yeah, it's
way worse. It's way worse, dude, than the fucking. I mean, shit. You can at least argue that, like, yeah, they were hyped. Russ, you can't do nothing.
That's your boy, though.
That's my guy.
You were so pumped
Sierra's
when they
husband.
took him.
I still am. Don't shut the door on him. I don't like him as a.
Who's y'all's
he's
guy?
Everything I don't like as an athlete. But if he wins us a ship, I'll get on board.
Who they just trade? Bradley Chubb?
Yeah, dude.
To Miami?
Yeah.
I bet he's happy.
Yeah. For a couple first rounders and a running back.
obviously, I haven't been in the golf world too much. So this whole live, PGA stuff. I mean, I'm sure you guys have beat the brakes off it.
We haven't talked about it actually at all.
The last little while, but it's hard. It sucks kind of not getting to watch some of these guys anymore because I have been such a PGA guy forever, and it's crazy seeing this back and forth and how much negativity is there around the whole thing. It's a lot of hate. It's nuts. There's a lot of hate about it.
It's just a line right here down the middle, and you're either this side or you're this side. No in between.
I want to watch DJ rip some bombs still. I don't want to watch Brooks still play like every now and then. Like I'm a PGA guy, man. I'm not.
That's right.
I just want to see all the best dudes play each other.
I do.
I don't want to see Mahomes and Josh Allen go to a different league. If you find a way to get them to play against each other, cool. But I just want the best talent under one roof, wherever it is.
I think it's done some good. It's had to have done some good for the PGA and bringing the guys.
Sure.
Financially bringing the guys together a little bit more.
They're protecting the guy, like the guys that fall, to get their card, the non-superstars with the guaranteed money now up front. You can't lose money basically now, getting your tour card and having a nothing burger of a year.
No.
That's nice. So there has been some good. It's just we just don't get the best dudes to play against each other very often.
I think we should talk about something that's going to be really fun to watch. Yeah. And that's a little episode of Untold on Netflix that's going to be coming out about you. First off, when did this start? When did this all come about? And is it finished?
No, still very much in the works right now. I started doing it probably a couple months ago. I went out to LA and pretty much just did like initial interview type of stuff. And I bet we'll see it sometime around the end of next year. I bet it'll probably take a year to get done. They said probably like 5 to 6 months of just editing. It's being involved with the Netflix and the side of it, and just seeing these kind of cameras and what you're doing with it, and kind of the whole interaction has been nuts. But I did get to bring them down to the Hall of Fame and College Station. Did get them to bring them around back to some places, Tyler and Kerrville, and bring them to show them a little bit around Texas. So I'm excited. It's gonna probably sometime throughout the year after they go back and interview everybody else that was kind of involved with the story. Then they'll come back down and do like a master interview and really get into everything about how other people kind of saw, the rise, the fall, and everything in between. So I'm kind of just excited to tell the story, put a chapter behind, and just kind of move forward with life and not have to, answer as many questions about it all the time as I kind of do.
Drake going to make an appearance?
We'll see.
That'd be sick. We're available if you need us too.
Yeah, you're used to these big time. Look at that camera right there. You ever seen anything like that? Netflix got one of them? Doubt it. You're ready. I had a real question. Does it go back to we had you on? What was it, dude? A year plus ago, right? And you came in and you talked. That was right when we got to know each other. We were playing golf, and you came in. It was like, you can ask me anything. We went through the whole A&M shit, which I thought to this day when people ask me what's your favorite interview, I mention you.
Saw that the other day.
Yeah, I'm serious about it though. I'm like, dude, to get the behind the scenes look. Young kid, small town Texas, more or less. Legend comes up, and then all of a sudden, overnight, like household name, and all the shit is being thrown at him. You telling me, name me a kid at that age that's gonna handle all that real well? And I said before, there was no blame. You didn't, it was this guy's fault, or I blame this guy. You owned all of it. But what we didn't get into in that show was like your high school days, which I've heard the stories from people from down there. Like your high school career was. A thing of legend. You guys get into that in the show?
Yeah, we did. We're gonna get into.
Is that cool for you to kind of go back to that and talk? You went back to your hometown.
Yeah, I did. I got to bring them to a football game too and stuff, and really get a chance. I got into my Hall of Fame at my high school as well, so I took them down there for that. And it is cool to see just how I still feel to this day like I got a chance to live a wild life, almost everything that I kind of wanted to do in such a short span of time. So to go back to that small town in the hill country and go back and see 12 years ago where it was when that started to where it is now, it's just what a ride. Sometimes you don't even feel like you're going to make it out of a small town like that, and then to do all of it's legendary. So I just want this to tell the story, the good, the bad, the stuff that's hilarious that a lot of people didn't even get to know about. And I think I got a great platform to be able to do it on. Have you guys seen some of the other Untolds?
Oh yeah, just talking about it. I think they do the best job.
I started reaching out. They had reached out to me, and people have been trying to get to do this for a couple years. But after I watched the Marty Fish, that's pretty much what made me want to do it.
Why? Because they told his story, from his what all he was going through, more than there was on the surface.
Yeah, I just liked everything about it. I liked I liked his trials and tribulations and how he grind it back to be able to, I thought the Roddick stuff and everything throughout it was just so cool. The way they told the story and they see that perspective of it was, I think what intrigued me the most. And the guys who are doing my documentary are the guys who are doing the ones who filmed the Manti Te'o one as well.
Which was super,
really good.
Which was awesome.
I watched that one, the flagrant foul about the NBA ref, which is terrifying if you bet on NBA basketball.
Yep.
That's why I've been losing for so many years.
But we actually had Marty on here after his Untold came out. It's really good. You're right. I've known Marty for a while, but they do a great job.
Yeah, I haven't got to meet him yet. He seems like a solid
golfer.
dude. He can swing it too. Yeah. He's a lefty. Huh? Yeah, he's a lefty.
Lefty. He can swing it.
Man, that's gonna be. I can't wait for it to come out. I was kind of hoping it was gonna be earlier.
I was thinking like hopefully
next year.
first quarter 23.
We didn't get started till late, so
Is yours 2 parts?
that's what we're talking about right now.
Juicy one.
That's what we're talking about right now.
That's a long one.
It's kind of just depending on what they get and how much film and whatever it is, if they chop it up into 2 or not.
Right now, for the people you came on our show, told a lot about this stuff. I'm sure some of that'll be in the show. But people that don't know the behind the scenes of Johnny Manziel, what do you think they learn after seeing this? Or how might it change their perception of you?
Ooh, that's
deep.
It is a great question. I don't really know. I think people are going to see the just the chaos and the hecticness of what life was like during that time at A&M into the draft, and it all happened so fast from overnight celebrity status to the NFL to everything after. It just all seems like it happened so fast. So I think people will have a better understanding for what it really was, and some things that I struggle with as a young kid in a different age in the world right now. I think we are in a different era and a different place than we were when you guys were growing up, or even when I was growing up. Things are just different. Social media and all this stuff runs the world right now. It also runs the way you think and the way you think about yourself and the way you interact with, just moving forward with life. And I think that aspect of it will open a lot of people's eyes too.
Has A&M said when you brought the cameras down there for the Hall of Fame, are they involved at all in being hey, don't say too? I don't know what's going on down there. But
no, they're all about it. They're super supportive of it, and I don't think it's gonna be a hard time. I've interviewed my dad. It's gonna be tough for them to not get the full raw unedited version of Paul Manziel. So he's already let it rip. I know that for a fact.
What'd you think when your pops got over? You're like, oh shit, here we go, Papa.
He just, the second it was over, we're sitting on the back patio talking, and he's just like, I let him have it. I'm like, oh, God.
That's awesome.
I can't wait.
He just can't help himself. He feels some type of way about the past, I guess, just how
about A&M specific, or just everything.
I think more just about the A&M stuff and stuff that happened, just with Coach Someone and really and A&M in general. I think what we talk about in this is, they saw a huge window of opportunity for them as far as getting notoriety and publicity and building a new stadium and building a lot of off our 2012 year. And then to go into the 2013, there were some things that happened at A&M just put me in situations as a young kid with different interviews and different certain things that probably should have never happened. And, let a lot of people into our life back in the day that, really didn't benefit anybody but A&M at the end of the day. It was harder on us, and my dad wished they would have done a little bit more to protect me back then. I was fed to the wolves at an early age, and it's tough when it's coming from in-house sometimes.
No doubt. Well, it's going to be a lot of fun to watch. I can't wait for it to come out.
Because those Untold, I'm glad you wait. I'm sure you've had every opportunity to do a million different documentaries. Getting the right people to do it, I think these guys do. What do they have, 2 seasons so far? They're awesome.
And ESPN's not doing the 30 for 30 as much as they were anymore. Really, it's kind of shifted to this. And I wanted it to be. I never wanted to make this big deal about it, where it's its own documentary on its own and its own thing. I never minded it being a.
Our set's falling up. This is
Halloween.
This ain't Netflix,
this
bro.
Is a really high-end budget.
That's Scotch tape up there.
What the hell just happened?
Our budget's down, dude.
Our pets' heads,
inflation, all that shit.
Our pets' heads are falling off.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, that's right.
See, it just fucking broke.
God, what a goddamn disaster
God damn
this
it,
is.
Mark. Ruining the whole show. Yeah, hold that.
Golf.com. There you go. There's a great picture.
There you go. Only the best.
But I tell you what, though. We got yours coming out now. Now we need Anthony Kim. Untold.
Oh man, I would love it. I would love nothing more than to really hear about that back in the day. Bits and pieces and rumors of just spending a lot of time in Dallas.
You guys are kind of like similar monster, like, you know what I mean? Like, everyone wants to know. They kind of know you were this huge flash, and then like it's like people want all the content around you. What's he doing? Where is
he really went dark too, man.
Oh yeah,
he fell off.
Vanished.
You know, I've still stayed a little bit in the spotlight, a little bit here and there. You know, his will be unbelievable because that guy was a legend.
Dude. Somebody's got to be doing it or do it. Just
it's yeah. It's gonna be whatever. If
whoever's
doing it, whenever it's gonna get done, it's gonna be awesome. Just like this one is.
I agree. I'm looking forward to it.
And then now that once this gets behind you, it's back road to the PGA Tour.
It's probably gonna be something like that, you know.
Then you do a doc on that.
If it's not road back to the PGA Tour,
road to the club championship.
Find something else to maybe do in the golf space. I'm having too much fun still being on the course and doing some things, and you know, I've been talking to DJ a lot about doing some more content stuff and really, you know, finding a way to do some different stuff with Cactus Hack and be involved in the game more and more and more, you know, as my time here. That's what I want to do when I'm here, you know. So I guess I'll see you guys at the Rock.
You always
eventually.
have a home here at Subpar. You know that.
No doubt.
Anytime,
I appreciate you guys having me back. It's always a good time to come and chop it up, you know, to be a reoccurring guest on here. I guess I can come back on another year and see a little reaction after the documentary.
Yes, for sure.
Yeah, 100%.
Always good to catch up with you, my man.
Buddy,
appreciate
you.
Johnny.
Appreciate both you boys.
All right, well, that was our man Johnny Manziel joining us on Golf Subpar. Dude seems to be in a really good spot in his life. It's always fun to talk some football with him, but I don't think he's quite going through the process of becoming the professional golfer the way we thought he might.
Taking a detour.
Yeah,
Colt.
slump.
The road to the PGA Tour is not a straight line, as we all well know. Sometimes you zig, sometimes you zag. I think he's zagging a little bit right now, but he'll be back. Not playing a lot of golf currently, but dude, the Untold, I think, is going to be awesome.
Yes.
They do, in my opinion, there's a lot of documentary series and stuff out there. 30 for 30s are good, right? There's a lot of them. I think Untold, from the ones that I've seen, the Manti, Marty Fish, you can go down the list. Even some of the ones where I'm like, I don't even know what the hell this is about, like the boat racing one. They do an awesome job with those. They're going to do a really good job with his. And I feel like we kind of, the first time we had Johnny on, got like the Untold before the Untold. You know what I mean? Going through his whole time, A&M, beating Bama, how his life changed after that. It's going to be, I think, this has been a long time coming, I feel like.
I think Netflix will make more off of it than we did.
I think, yeah, you think?
Just a little bit.
Yeah, possibly.
But you're right. They do a great job. This will be a very popular one.
I think, yeah.
He's like that Anthony Kim type.
Exactly.
We want to know more about this guy.
Exactly. For a long time there, he was kind of like a mystery. Like, where's Johnny, wherever. That was around the time we had him on here. Now he's a little more visible out in the public. But, like, people want to know, like, that era at A&M. I mean, that was Johnny's season. Like, it was the life he lived. Any young kid living that life, you're probably going to do some things. Probably not going to make some of the best decisions of your life.
All right, well, let's get to some picks this week. It's your major, Mayakoba.
This is the biggest event outside of the major
Your
championships.
PGA
All the
Tour
greats
event.
have played at Mayakoba.
Yes,
That's what people say. I don't say that. That's what other people say.
You're right.
If you haven't played at Mayakoba, there's something missing on your resume.
Well, there's a man named Victor Hovland who's gone back-to-back down at Mayakoba. Not the betting favorite. Actually, Scotty Scheffler is the tournament favorite, which he's world number 2, so makes sense. Hard to bet against Victor around this place this week. But as far as my favorite, I'm going for a guy with some nice value, in my opinion. This time of year, down there, it's the rainy season in Cancun, and this golf course changed a lot from when they moved it from February to November. It plays long, it plays soft, so it also plays a little wider. So I think you got a little bit of room off the tee. I think it's a ball striker's golf course. I'm going Tony Finau at 16-1.
I like that. Tony, good in tropical environments throughout his career as well. So getting down to Mayakoba. I'm going a little further down the list. I don't know if you would call him a favorite. He's going off at 27-1, but I really like where he's playing right now, the way he's playing right now. Tom Hoge, all right, started off this year, 4 events, has not finished worse than 13th in his 4 starts. He's one of the best iron players on the PGA Tour. Not the longest guy, but like you said, this is more like hit it in grass, keep it in the fairway, knock it on the green. His putter comes and goes, but I feel like he used to be one of the streakiest players on tour. You see some stretches like this for, the beginning of the year, then he might go away for a while. Then it might come back. It was streaky. Now it's like the guy hardly has a bad week, was damn near on the President's Cup team. I think this is a place Hoge could do really well. 27-1.
I'll go out on a limb and say 27-1 is the worst odds we've
ever given for a favorite.
Yeah.
It's normally the favorites are typically around 10. What's Scotty this week?
9-1.
9, 10 is kind of ballpark, and then sometimes you get 12. Yeah.
All right.
That's probably further down the list.
I'm going for my dark horse. Mm-hmm. This place is very, very nice. and this guy likes very nice things.
Oh, I know where you're going.
He's going off at 50-1. A lot of people don't know his name. Sometimes he goes by Jeff, sometimes by Keith, sometimes by Kevin. You never know. Keith Mitchell, 50-1.
Also, most likely guy to miss his tee time for getting a massage. The spa, he's going to be on
a nice spa.
It's an incredible spa. He's going to be on a first name basis with all of the pamperers.
You got 3 choices there. The Fairmont, which is nice, but then you got the Banyan Tree, which is nicer. And then you got the Rosewood, which is even nicer. These places are so sick. I always love this tournament.
Yeah, I showed up my day. I was like, yeah, I'm going to check in player. Need the player rate. Was expecting it to be super reduced. Like, oh, okay, yeah, good to have you. $750 a night. I was like, no. I think you
That's why you took that $5,000.
Player rate. And they're like, yeah, thank God Chad Campbell was behind me and he could see me like stressing on this shit. And he's like, hey, bud, we got one down in Playa. It's like $200 a night. Come down here. We're taking this shuttle right now. I was like, God bless you. That's why I had to take the money, dude. You know?
I get it.
You get it. Money controls everything. Cash rules everything around me. My long shot, no surprise. Guy got us on the board last week for the winner's circle. I'm going to go back with Seamus Power, 41-1. Feeling good about his game. Great player in the wind if we can get some breeze down there. But, I mean, shit, running hot. He's still going at 41-1. It's a nice price for a guy that just come off a dub.
I think I saw an interesting stat with Rory McIlroy winning the CJ Cup and Seamus Power winning in Bermuda.
Yeah.
First time ever Irish players have won back-to-back on the PGA Tour.
Different Irishman.
Yeah, different Irishman.
Winning.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a nice little stat.
So you're going to Ireland 3 in a row.
Yeah, I'm going to go. Yeah, I mean, 41-1. You got to go down there and fish around a bit. Kid just won. Feeling pretty good. I'll take Seamus. Try to go back-to-back.
All right, well, now it's time to get on to what we really know.
Thank
Football.
God. Finally.
All right, this is going to be fun.
What do you got? I already know.
Just
because
you
just said that. Guaranteed.
Number 7 in the
There you go.
rankings. TCU Horned Frogs going up against Texas Tech Red Raiders. The Red Raiders are catching 9.5. Put your guns up.
Oh, my
Texas
God.
Tech, here we go.
So much hate. The jealousy, you could feel it running through. It's
You
all right.
stole my coach. I'm pissed off.
You know what I mean? We got Big Noon coming down. All the big names. The stars will be out. Eamon G. Card will be rocking. You can catch your 9.5. All we do is cover last week.
Okay.
You know what I mean? All we do is cover. I respect the pick. It's going to lose, but I respect it. I'm going for the game of the week, though, dude. We got Georgia, Tennessee. I mean, hello.
Wow, 1 versus
Line
2.
them up. Tennessee catching some pretty serious juice here. But
How many are they getting?
I think 8.5, which seems like a lot for a team scoring about 50 every time they step on the field. I am going, though, to the over-under, which is 65.5. I'm going to take the under because I think if you're playing Tennessee, you don't want to get in a shootout. Bama already did it. Didn't work out well. I think the only way to beat them, slow down, limit the amount of times they get the ball. Georgia, arguably the best defense in the country. Run the rock, slow it down, keep them off the field. I got to go. I don't see Georgia getting in too many shootouts on both sides. Sometimes they just steamroll people, but it doesn't go back and forth. I'm going to take under 65 and a hook to stay hot.
By the way, I like the play. You know, I know our good friend Hayden Wood has had to do some fun things since TCU beat Oklahoma State.
Yes.
I was over in Thailand. We were having a few cocktails, drinking, looking at football, getting ready to go.
Lady boy.
And I was in a good spot, and I was looking at the odds, and I was like, God, the Pokes have got to bounce back. I was like, I love Oklahoma State.
You took them?
I told everybody at the hotel. I was like, I'll take Oklahoma State. Woke up the next morning, 48-0. Hayden Wood, get your team together. That's embarrassing. It's Kansas
Over
State.
before it started. They're good, by the way, and their backup quarterback looks like he came in. I was like, oh, we're going to steamroll this kid. He looked like Peyton Manning, just a big, slow dude that throws seeds. That thing was toast before the second quarter started. I was shocked by that, too. Kansas State, good. Don't sleep on them.
All right, make sure you go to the Golf.com Pro Shop. That's proshop.golf.com. Get you right in there to that Birdie Juice gear. Type in Birdie Juice 15. Get 15% off all the Birdie Juice gear. No better time than now.
Holiday season. Take care of the ones you love with a little birdie juice.
All right, that's going to do it for us. We'll talk to you on next week's Golf Subpar.